Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. Former Governor General Sir Clifford Husbands has been hailed as a man who served his country with distinction. This is how he was characterized during his state funeral this morning at the St. Lucie Parish Church. Kent Jerson has that story.
Former Governor General Sir Clifford Husbands has been remembered as a man of service who understood the importance of family. That's how he was characterized by close family friend Brian Clark QC during the state funeral held at the St. Lucie Parish Church. Addressing a congregation that included many government and other officials, Mr. Clark spoke of Sir Clifford's distinguished legal career. He served as Director of Public Prosecutions, Supreme Court Judge, Appellate Judge, and acted as Chief Justice before being elevated to the position of Governor General.
For 16 years, we shared him with you publicly. But Sir Clifford to you was first and foremost Dad to us. Didn't I tell you? He wore several hats. Dad was a member of a number of service organizations and gave freely of his time. The Family Planning Association, the Old Harrisonian Society, Lawn Tennis Association, the Barbados Cricket Association, to mention a few.
Mr. Clark also spoke of the values instilled by Sir Clifford.
Both he and Mum taught us how to love, how to be strong, to be independent, to think, to give of ourselves to those who are less fortunate, to be humble.
At the start of the service, the officiating minister, Senator the Very Reverend Harold Critchlow, gave thanks for Sir Clifford's life.
O God of grace and glory, we remember before you this day our brother Clifford. We thank you for giving him to us, his family and friends, to know and love as a companion on our earthly pilgrimage. In your boundless compassion, console us who mourn. Give us faith to see in death the gate of eternal life.
Sir Clifford was interred at the St. Lucie Parish Church. May he rest in peace.
Former Prime Minister Owen Arthur thinks Barbados should make the most of its high technological ranking. And he is encouraging the Barbados Investment and Development Corporation to take the lead on this. He was speaking on day 2 of the BIDC-sponsored Innovate Barbados at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center.
Barbados continues to rank highly as regards its international technology readiness and penetration. In addition, its regime for the promotion and the protection of intellectual property rights stands out as one of its most favorable indices of competitiveness. Indeed, if we got to advise the BIDC really involve itself in global value chains, it would be to offer Barbados as a place where intellectual property rights, a major center for the management of intellectual property rights, given that we have the best regime for this in the hemisphere.
Mr. Arthur also thinks a new type of international business sector can be created in Barbados, which makes the most use of the technology.
There is scope for greater growth and development if the institutional arrangements and technological capabilities can be put in place for the creation of a new, vibrant class of indigenous international businessmen to be created who can sell their professional services on the global market using the new information technology that now makes such a development possible. Barbados' international business and financial industry does not have to be foreign-driven nor dependent only on the provisions in tax treaties and the like.
Tourists are pleased with the move to rename Westbury New Road after Barbadian superstar Rihanna. The official name change will occur in a few weeks on November 30th to coincide with the island's 51st independence anniversary. The street was chosen as it is the site of her childhood home. Work started earlier this week when the pavement and road in front of her former home being repaired. Scores of tourists pass through the area daily to get a glimpse of Rihanna's former home. A CBC team spoke to this family from Baltimore in the USA.
We were here it's October 2017, and we were here in October 16 when it was not started renovation yet. But now it's all renovated and the outside's being looking real nice in the asphalt and everything. So
very good person to take care of her mom and dad. And the house is looking better and better.
Meanwhile, current and former residents believe the decision to rename the street is a fitting tribute to Rihanna.
I really don't got no qualms about it. I think that she's well deserving of it. You know, she has done a lot for the country so far. And she seems not to be a very selfish person because she has given back to the Barbadian public some of what she might have earned through she talent. So I don't see why it can't happen. I don't see anything wrong with it at all.
I feel good about it, and she deserves it. She deserves, well, not only the road, but a bigger part of the island.
The man looking to wrestle the constituency of St. Michael's Southeast from the Barbados Labour Party intends to tackle pressing problems head-on. Key on Democratic Labour Party candidate Rodney Grant's agenda are youth development, housing, road repairs, the return of a bus service, tackling the garbage situation and debushing areas across the constituency. On the latter, Mr. Grant was prompted to act given recent rains and concerns expressed by residents of overgrown bush. Among the first areas targeted, a section of wildy separating Field Road and Rockclose.
This runs from here right up to Parkinson Field. I've had several calls from 1 or 2 residents about this particular area, as well as other areas across the constituency, particularly Lower Burney, as well as areas in Golden Rock, specifically Miller Walk in Golden Rock. And I know that I've visited 1 or 2 other areas in Monroe Village. So I decided to take a tour around the constituency and look at the key areas that really need some kind of immediate attention. So it's my intention to really go about and begin a cleanup program.
Mr. Grant also gave current MP Santia Bradshaw's representation a failing grade.
And all I would say is, you know, in the army, sometimes when you go into the army, there's some soldiers that you can't find. They sort of got a wall or missing in action. And that's what you would say. That is the report card. The report card is one of those soldiers who have left the post. That's the report card that I would give. But, you know, in time, you know, the report card would be, you know, will be completed and it will be fulfilled, and we will see the end result of it. You know, my passion is to really focus on the issues, not to really spend time being detracted by anybody who want to come and be a representative.
One motorist is counting his lucky stars after escaping serious injuries following an accident on the Graham Hall stretch of the ABC Highway this morning. His car slid off the road around 6:45 and uprooted a nearby bus shelter. While he did not want to be identified, he shared his experience with us off camera.
They was stopped here indicating to turn right.
In the ministry?
Yeah, in the ministry. And so I break up and pick up a slide, realize the car is not stopping and I'm gonna hit him. So I pulled off and I hit him in the shed.
Local historian Trevor Marshall has poured cold water on the notion that free tertiary education will ever exist in Barbados again. He said waiving the tuition fees for Barbadian students is an unrealistic expectation, and that move will affect the monies provided for the other social services on the island. He was delivering today's Astor B. Watts lunchtime lecture on the legacy of the father of independence, the Right Excellent Errol Walton Barrow.
You cannot any longer support free tertiary level education at any place in the Caribbean. We did it up to 10 years ago. And when you tell people overseas that Barbadians, I used to say, in Barbados, education is free, from kindergarten to PhD. And people said, have you all struck a gold mine? How can you do that? We found it impossible to carry this burden recently when people have had to pay money. I had a daughter who just finished a medical degree in Jamaica, and we paid thousands of dollars for her, happily.
Okay, we'll take a short break here and come back with more news.
It started with my love for making things. That became a business. And when I wanted to expand, I chose a partner that could help me build on my vision. A partner that made growing my business easier with fewer steps. That's banking that starts with me.
It starts with you. Scotiabank.
Shoes, shoes, shoes. Megville is having a $29.95 shoe sale on selected items for 1 week only. Go to Megville for good shoes at good prices. Located on Palmetto Street, High Street, and Tudor Street, Bridgetown.
Hey there. Yes, you.
Yes, Flow customers, you've topped up, signed up, paid your bill on time and in full. Now you can win over $250,000 in cash and prizes. It's time to play.
Let's go Family Flow!
You could win smart TVs, cell phones, cash, and more weekly. Visit www.discoverflow.co or see price for details. Cable and wireless terms and conditions apply.
Despite being promoted as a possible solution to combat predial larceny, local farmers are cautiously optimistic about the use of drone technology in agriculture. While he understands some of the benefits, President of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, says legislation would be needed to ensure there is limited access to the devices. He was speaking on the sidelines of a Ministry of Agriculture workshop to show farmers how they can utilize drone technology to monitor their crops.
We cannot have a situation where regulations go into place and they are not enforced. How do we enforce the regulations to make sure that those persons who have that drone technology in hand, they're not using it in a lawful way? That is to facilitate crop theft, because that is another issue that we, of course, have to put on the table. And while some may say that that should not be a problem, it can be a problem. Knowing the way in which we have operated regulations in the past, I really think that is something that we have to pay careful attention to.
During the session, some farmers voiced their concerns about the possibility of using drone footage in court. However, Inspector David Wilshire says it can be facilitated.
The whole thing must be balanced against the need to put the required training in place to ensure that persons do not become accidentally injured or otherwise compromised by the use of drones. The whole issue of public safety, the need to protect the rights of individuals within their private space. These are things that must be considered when you're going to use the drone technology. But in a broad way, the police force supports the use of the technology.
Literacy Week at St. Giles Primary culminated this afternoon with their literacy duflicky in the school hall. Students from reception straight up to class 4 recited poems, nursery rhymes, sang various folk songs, danced and performed skits. One of the organizers, teacher Kelly Ann Butcher, says they were all influenced by the work they learned throughout the week.
We would have done prefects readathon that was held yesterday, whereby we had the prefects that were selected. They were enrolled about a week ago, and they were prepped in terms of reading to the students in various classes. Yeah, that was one of the activities. We also had the teachers do reading picnics to their various classes. They would have taken the children either on the outdoors, or if there wasn't enough space on the outdoors, they would have stayed indoors and had the students in a picnic-like setting. and they would have read different stories to the children, asked questions, getting them to dramatize what was done in the stories, and so on.
Ms. Butcher believes interactive reading initiatives are needed in primary schools.
Once we have these activities, we find that the children are really keen and interested in reading. However, if we stick to the basics and the normal day-to-day activities where we have usual books, usual stories, and they have to go home and read on their own, we find that there's not that keen interest. But once there's a hype in activities like we have for Reading Week, we find that they're interested and they're keen.
There's new focus at the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology. Officials there have decided it's time to get healthy. Here's Lisa Broom.
With us young people, we tend to want to do other things that we know we shouldn't be doing, which will cause harm to our bodies. So I think that we should actually take better care of it, listen to adults when they tell us to do something and do it, and not just let it go through one ear and go through the next.
That message from 17-year-old SJPI student Acalia Scantlebury is exactly what organizers of the institution's first Health and Wellness Fair want to convey. So they provided the tools through a number of exhibitions, including one on HIV and AIDS, which proved to be quite popular among the students, to begin teaching them especially the importance of living healthy lives. Health checks were also made available along with information on a variety of other services. And based on the reaction from the students, it was welcome.
I think the health fair is really important to teach us ways to keep our bodies healthy, to help us to exercise, because we go out and stuff, but we never really think about exercising that sort of way. Like, we're mainly at home watching TV, playing games and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's very important.
I just realized that my childhood friend's father passed away from cancer. So you never know, you always got to keep healthy with it. So it's very important.
Dr. Raphael Greenidge, who isn't much older than some of the students themselves, warned there is no such thing as an old person's disease, and they too are susceptible to conditions like high blood pressure, hypertension, strokes and heart attacks. Dr. Greenidge is concerned that many times people take care of their material possessions better than they do their bodies.
So I'm imploring you to think about it that way, to think about your body as the one and only that you have. Your major investment in your life is not your mortgage, it's not a car payment, it's not your insurance. But without this, you can't contribute to any of those things. All these things that we think are important, your job, school, work, all these different things are for naught if you can't actively be out there using your body.
The entire institute has also been encouraged to sign on to the Health Challenge, which has a number of components, including taking 6,000 steps each day, drinking the required 8 glasses of water, and eating more fruit and vegetables. Lisa Broom, CBC News.
A new event is being added to the entertainment calendar in Barbados. It's Oldie Goldie Sundays at the Cove nightclub in St. Lawrence Gap. The launch takes place this Sunday at the Christchurch venue. Organizer Terry Toyan Bino says the older music has really made a comeback and the event is generating some excitement.
And it's the first time ever in Barbados, I would say first time in the history of Barbados, that will be having Oldie Goldie Sundays and St. Lawrence Gap. St. Lawrence Gap is known to the people of Barbados as the #1 entertainment spot for years, but they never had Oldie Goldies before. So this is the first time we are bringing Oldie Goldies to St. Lawrence Gap. And the people in the surrounding area are happy, they are excited for this Sunday night for the big launching of Oldie Goldie Sundays.
Well, if you think you are a top karaoke singer and you're good enough to win a competition, the CBC Standard Carry Your Own Key might just be the thing for you. However, you should know it won't be a typical karaoke competition, as host and co-producer Tisha Hines explains. She says it will actually be a reality show.
We're doing auditions that will be aired, but we will move then to quarterfinals and semifinals, and the general public will be able to vote as well online to determine who they want to go forward. There will be a second chances segment, a people's choice, if you may, segment as well. So it's really about reality, getting to know the artists, about people sharing their talents and having a good time. We are definitely going to discover some exciting talent in Barbados throughout the month of November, or Independence, and beyond.
Ms. Hines says the first audition will be tomorrow starting at 6 p.m., but competitors can sign up from 4. It will be all done at the Sky Bar at Sky Mall.
We have a star-studded cast of local entertainers who are going to be weekly judges. We have a staunch judge as well who will be going from week to week. But the guest judges are also going to double up as guest performers on each show. So if you are accustomed to seeing somebody maybe doing soca music, all of a sudden you will get to see the other side of them when they do karaoke. But we're going to be doing a number of challenges. So, you know, the people who enter the competition will need to be well-rounded entertainers. That's how we're going to find the eventual winner of the CBC Standard Carry Your Own Key competition.
The first program airs on Saturday, November 11th, and the show will run through the first week of January. Then in the second week, there will be a live 2-hour special to choose the winner. After the break, we'll take a look at stories making headlines across our region.
Julie's Party Rentals invites you to the album launch of Lady Virtue, No Violence, Just Love at the Lloyd Erskine Sanford Center, November 4 from 8 p.m. with guest artists Twin Man, Amber Orlando, David Medford, Melody Man, Shirley Stewart, and Jamaica's Warrior King. Admission $45 at the door, pay more. Sponsored by WOW, DB Productions, Illusion Graphics, CBC, Trident 10 TV, Starcom Network, Creative Renovations and Finishes, Capital Media HD, and Yellow Media. Tickets at Ticket Pile Online, Sweet Little Things, People Small, and Julie's Party Rentals. There's a door prize of a trip to St. Lucia.
Upgrade to Digicell's Quick Pick Bundles. Save big on data. Get data and get unlimited WhatsApp messaging and Digicel Talk. Pick a 1-day bundle, a 7-day bundle, or for the best value, a 30-day bundle. Save money every single day. Pick the bundle that's right for you. Go to My Digicel app or dial *246 # to buy a Quick Pick bundle today. Digicel.
When disembarking a bus, wait until it has departed and giving both you and the road users a clear view of the street. Remember, a little vigilance and patience can save a life.
Help support the restoration efforts for the hundreds of thousands affected by catastrophic hurricanes. Donate to the Red Cross Hurricane Relief account at any branch of the following: CIBC First Caribbean, account number 10011633436. First Citizens, 500-900-00588. RBC Royal Bank, 210-05073. And Republic Bank, 01804-153-1001. Monies raised will be sent to the International Red Cross for its restoration work for affected persons. Appeal closes 30th November 2017. Persons wishing to post checks should make these out to Red Cross Hurricane Relief Appeal account and post to Barbados Red Cross Society, P.O. Box 300, Bridgetown, or hand deliver to the Red Cross Warrens headquarters. The Barbados Red Cross and commercial banks, on behalf of the victims of catastrophic hurricanes, thank all persons and businesses for their contributions.
An organization called Electricians Without Borders is on the ground in Dominica assisting with the restoration of power post-Maria. Catherine Bourgeois says the volunteers have been at work in several territories and countries after the passage of Hurricanes Irma and Maria.
The first team arrived, a team of 3 persons were not allowed. They arrived the 12th of October. We arrived with 55 generators, 3 kinds of generators, 1000 kV, 2,000 and 3,000 It's small one, but it's generators we are going to install in health center and schools. It's a priority and the demand of the authorities, of the government. So we work with the government, with the authorities, and also with the United Nations.
Dominica has been assured by the Barbados-based regional security systems that the RSS remains resolute and unwavering in its support during the country's time of need following the passage of Hurricane Maria. The assurance was given by Deputy Commissioner Edwin Martin. He says the soldiers on the ground are not fazed by the challenges of the physical environment.
The RSS, as a hybrid company, brings a unique combination of military, law enforcement, and artisan skills to the table. Those skills are considered critical in contributing to stabilizing the security environment while simultaneously assisting with the restoration and rehabilitation process. To date, the RSS has contributed to the following: providing security forces to a number of businesses and financial institutions, providing security to the state prison where the perimeter fence has been compromised, providing security escort for the distribution of relief supplies island-wide, as well as patrolling along with the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force in mobile and foot patrol with a view to ensuring that a stable security environment, one that is free of the fear and perception of crime, exists.
President David Granger says Guyana is vigorously pursuing diplomatic initiatives towards the Good Offices process. This as it seeks a settlement of the border dispute with Venezuela. Addressing the 71st sitting of the National Assembly yesterday, Granger said the government is confident that the common commitment of both the administration and the opposition will see a strong national support for a judicial settlement of the controversy. Doing business has not improved for the island of St. Lucia. This is according to the annual Ease of Doing Business Index from the World Bank, which has downgraded the island from 86th to 91st out of 190 surveyed countries. St. Lucia lost the most ground in construction and other infrastructure. Nonetheless, the island leads the Caribbean, having the most expeditious construction process. Police in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are searching for gunmen who shot and killed 2 men last night. Police said that Emery Holder, Mendora Simmons, and 1 Young Money were going to a house of a friend when they were shot by unknown assailants. Holder and Young Money died while Simmons is a patient at the Milton K2 Memorial Hospital. So far, 37 people have been murdered in St. Vincent this year. That's just 2 less than the number killed in 2016. Prison officers in Trinidad and Tobago are seeking asylum in Canada, citing fears over their personal safety. This following the murder of at least 2 officers in recent weeks. President of the Prison Officers Association, Ciaran Richards, says members no longer feel safe in the Twin Island Republic. Richards, who led more than 50 officers and their families to the Canadian High Commission yesterday to request asylum in Canada, said he's disappointed with government's response to increasing attacks and the murder of several officers. A quick look into the world of sports is just ahead, but before we get there, here's a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
In exchange for a premium, an insurance company agrees to indemnify an insured for specific types of losses as defined by an insurance policy. Cooperators General Insurance, ensuring you are protected during this hurricane season.